So I had a dream. I had this dream about a long time ago, about 13 years ago. It was when IHOP first started. I hadn't really studied the end times much. I'd kind of heard a couple messages on the end times. I didn't understand it. I was focusing more on the Song of Solomon at that time. And I remember one night I went to bed and I was meditating. I had a real conviction to go to bed meditating on scripture. And I was meditating on a Song of Solomon passage, just repeating it over and over in my mind. And suddenly I'm in a very just deep sleep. And I'm in a church. I'm at the back of the building. I'm in this church and there's this huge celebration going on. It's like Christmas or something. It's this huge celebration. There's like waiters and waitresses walking around with these huge pillars of food. But it wasn't the real church. Everybody was fake, like literally hollow and like plastic and moving like plastic. And they all had these plastic looks on their faces. I kept thinking, I want reality. I want reality. I got to get out of here. And suddenly I start to hear this rhythm. And it's going, doo, 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 doo. It's like far, far away, but coming from inside of me at the same time. As soon as I hear this beat, my adrenaline starts to rush. And I'm looking for the door. I've got to get out of here. And I start running to the rhythm of this beat. It's like, doo, 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 doo. And I'm running to the rhythm of this beat. And as I get to the door of the church, I notice that there's a bunch of boxes that they're moving some boxes out. And I look down and I see what looks like a casket. And I go, what is that? And I kind of flip the lid off with my foot. And in it was a Nazi soldier who had died. And he came back to life. And I went, oh! And I push the box and I watch it. And I watch it go out of the church. I watch it go out into the parking lot. And it goes right into the middle of this huge atomic explosion. I was petrified. Like I've had a couple dreams in my life, but nothing like this. I wanted to get out of this dream. I was very, very scared in my dream. And I go, what is that? It was just this atomic explosion, this crater, this huge crater in the earth with smoke and fire billowing out of it. I said, I don't want to go near that. And the next thing I know, I'm standing on the edge and I'm looking into it and I said, I am literally trying to wake myself up. I want out of this dream. And the next thing I know, I'm falling right into the middle of this crater, of this atomic explosion. I'm falling and I hit the ground and I look all around me and it is code red. It is fire, it is chaos, it is smoke. There's like sirens going off everywhere. It is utter chaos. It is like a war zone. And I am utterly confused. This rhythm gets louder. It's getting louder. My adrenaline is racing faster and faster. And I look up and I see the Lord. The Lord is running to the rhythm of this beat. When I laid eyes on him, I knew he was the one that was causing the shaking. He was the one causing it one way or the other. Whether it was Satan's rage, creation's groan, man's sin, or his own judgment. At the end of the day, he's in control. I looked at him and I knew it was of his hand. I was so confused. He was running to the rhythm of this beat and he had the most intense look in his eye. I cannot describe it. He was running like a lion, though he was a man. He was moving like a lion to the rhythm of this beat. And he had a fierce determination, a zeal. When it says he's consumed with zeal, I can kind of get a picture of what that looks like. I was utterly confused. I said, Lord, what is going on? And he looks at me and he thunders, zeal for my house has consumed me. Zeal for my house has consumed me. I said, yes, Lord. And I was looking down, I was backing away. I said, yes, yes, Lord, but there's no evil in you. If this is you, what is evil? And he points over this direction, and I follow his finger, and I see what looks like a monk, like a religious person, like a Buddhist monk or something, some kind of religious something. And he's in this aura of peace, and he's wearing a long robe, and he's growing flowers, and there's like this peace and safety, this weird peace all around him. And the Lord looks at me and he points right at me. And he says, woe to those who call good evil and evil good in that day, and blessed are you if you are not offended. Woe to those who call good evil and evil good in that day, and blessed are you if you are not offended. I was looking down. I was confused. I was getting rebuked. I was confused. I didn't understand. Lord, I said, I'm not offended. But if this is you, what do you want me to do? And he goes, sing, Zion, sing. Sing, Zion, sing. And then I wake up, and the Spirit of God is heavy in my room, and he speaks to me, Jeremiah 50 and 51, which speaks of Babylon. He said, sing, Zion, sing. He is full of zeal. He is jealous for Jerusalem, his house. And he is jealous for his worldwide bride. And he is full of zeal for Israel. He is full of zeal for the city of Jerusalem. And he is full of zeal that his global, his worldwide bride would be in unity with his heart. He has fire in his eyes. It was passion. I didn't feel he was angry at me. He had fire and intensity and focus. And he took me very seriously. But the question is, do you take yourself seriously? Do you take yourself as seriously as he takes you? In our weakness, in our frailty, I have failed so many times, many times. He's merciful. He's patient. The only thing it says in Scripture that he resists is pride. If you're humble and you keep running to him, you're on the right side of the fence, no matter how many times you fall. But even in the middle of all that falling and getting up again and falling and getting up again, do you still take yourself seriously? Because he does. Even Israel herself, who is the witness, has rejected him most of the time. Yet, he still is after her. How much more you who are sincere? How much more? We're supposed to look at the way he relates to Israel and say, if you're like that with a nation that rejects you, how much more me and my weakness? For such a time as this, you are alive on the earth. For such a time as this, maybe you'll disciple your children, maybe your grandchildren, maybe in a stadium, maybe through song, through writing. There's many avenues, but the Lord wants to take even the next 3 to 4 years of your life, and he wants you to get a message, to prepare others. Get a message. If you were going to be a doctor and you knew you were going to go into a battlefield, you would take the time to learn the skill. The battlefield is right around the corner, but has anybody taken the time to get the skill to understand and make sense of it in that hour? Are there any singers and musicians who actually take themselves seriously enough to understand the Scripture? Preachers, not just regurgitating the same 10 messages over and over again, but actually going deeper in the Scripture. Prophets, apostles, evangelists, in the marketplace, surrounded by people who are going to be utterly confused in just a short amount of time. Do you know how to give them answers? Let's stand together.